Hello, I'm Garfield, and today Garfield explains a key event from the progressive era. The insanely unsafe food safety standards.
Of course now we have the FDA, but before we didn't have that. Before we had laissez-faire, we can cover that later. Let's go to the beginning. America is becoming more industrialized. People are leaving their rural prairie homes to join the better big city. The food supply had to match the large amount of people, which was only getting larger. So they mass-produced their food. This led to laziness and people disregarding safety while also not really being aware of safety standards because there were none. Circling back to laissez-faire, it is French for hands off or let them do it. America saw this and decided that it was a great idea when it came to companies running themselves. Businesses could run under laissez-faire and have no safety checks, no sanitation checks, and zero supervision. Considering the circumstances, we can imagine how things are going. Or can we? Spoiler alert, we can't. Nobody knows what is happening behind the scenes. Until these cool cats. This is Harvey Wiley. He was the leader of the Poison Squad. Harvey was a curious man who also happened to be a pretty good chemist. He formed a group of consenting human experiments. They were named the Poison Squad. With his group, they tested the effects of chemicals put in food. He proved things were unsafe and became the father of the FDA. This is Upton Sinclair. He too was a curious fellow, so he went to the factories himself. He interviewed, took photos, and wrote about what he experienced. He decided the world deserved to know what was really happening to their food. He released a book titled The Jungle, a fictional book starring the character Jurgis Rudkus, a worker in a slaughterhouse. While the character was fictional, the written experiences were not. A few quotes from the book.
Meat that was taken out of pickle would often be sour, and how they would rub it up with soda to take away the smell and sell it to be eaten on the free lunch counters.
Workers had to take rotten meat and cover it in a baking soda mixture to make it smell better, then send it out to be eaten. What? I'm going to be sick. Wait. People did get sick. And got dead.
Sausage that had been rejected, and that was moldy and white. It would be dosed with borax and glycerin and dumped into the hoppers and made over again for home consumption.
Moldy meat was dipped in borax, yes, the same laundry cleaner and slime activator you use, and glycerin. Then it was eaten by humans. And people call me unhealthy.
But a man could run his hand over these piles of meat and sweep off handfuls of dried dung of rats. These rats were nuisances, and the packers would put poisoned bread out for them. They would die, and then rats, bread, and meat would go into the hoppers together.
Meat that has been sitting out along with rats, their poop, and poisoned bread would be ground up and sent to the tables. Rat poisoning. Yum. Enough gross examples. What did this book do? Was it effective? Yes. Many people, including the president at the time, Theodore Roosevelt, read this book. When Roosevelt read it, he vomited and decided something needed to be done about this. With the combination of information from Sinclair and Wiley. The Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, was formed, which kicked laissez-faire out. Companies could no longer sell rotten, moldy, poisoned meat, and now got frequent sanitation and health checks along with actual standards and regulations. Some extra not-so-fun facts. People weren't required to wash their hands, wear gloves, or hairnets. The meat was cut and organized on and washed. Dirty tables. Pickle curing was a way of preserving meat longer. The things used to do this were not safe for human consumption, not even human interaction. The workers who dealt with pickle curing got swollen knuckles, wrists, hands from the exposure to the acid used while doing so.
Yay! Progress! Garf out!